On today's video, the Chiefs now know we will play the Jacksonville Jaguars in Arrowhead next weekend after that stunning comeback versus the Chargers. We're also going to talk Buffalo versus Miami and Cincy versus Baltimore. Stick around.
So the young, hot Jacksonville Jaguars will be rolling into Kansas City to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead next weekend. So that's our opponent. We were kind of hoping that Miami might pull off the upset or Baltimore, but it did not happen. The games were close. They were good games, but luck just fell the other team's way, and that's how it always goes for Buffalo and for the Bengals. So Chiefs playing the Jags. Mike, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, so early on, this is who we kind of wanted to play. We said we would rather play them over the Chargers. It's tough to beat a Chargers team 3 times. They play us very well. Every time they play against us, they play very well. But they did Charger, and they found a way to lose after being up so much that we were watching the game, and we were like, dude, this game's over. And then the Jaguars, valiant comeback. Can't say enough about Doug Peterson, the way he has Trevor Lawrence and them playing. That's a good team front to back. Chiefs going to have to take them serious this week.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at week 10, we played them. We won 27-17. It wasn't a big blowout. It wasn't an easy game by any means. They did play it right up towards the end of the game. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes actually had a really good game that week, 331 yards for 4 touchdowns. He did have 1 pick, but that's a huge game from Mahomes to only win by 10.
Yeah, that's the game that they also took a shot at Juju. They followed it up by taking a shot at MVS. So that's a young defense with no fear, and they're headhunters out there. They'll hit you, and they'll tell you about it. I just think they don't understand. They're so young that I don't know if they'll be super intimidated. I do think nerves could be a factor coming into Arrowhead. That crowd's going to be on another level. I mean, it's tough playing the Chiefs at home. This is the whole reason we're all complaining about the AFC Championship game getting moved. But yeah, early on, man, what's your early thoughts with this game? Do you think the Chiefs obviously are going to roll over them? I don't think so. I don't think you do either. I think we both think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take them very seriously. They are a good team. They're young, they're inexperienced, but look how they've been playing the last half of the season. And we knew it was coming. And you also got Doug Peterson on the sideline, who is a direct Andy Reid disciple. He knows how Andy Reid works, he knows what Andy Reid wants to do. So, I mean, you cannot take this team lightly at all. And like I said, back in week 10, it was not a big blowout. It was still a close game. One thing that did help us in that game is we actually ran the ball a lot. Isaiah Pacheco had 16 carries for 82 yards. Patrick Mahomes ended up with 39 yards rushing. Kadarius Toney had 2 rushes for 33 yards. I think Jet McKinnon only had like 2 yards rushing, but they were well over 100 yards rushing, and that opened up the pass for Mahomes. 331 yards and 4 touchdowns. You're going to have to do the same type of thing. You got to have a balanced offense. And then on the flip side, you have Trevor Lawrence, who had a pretty decent game. But it looked like the biggest weapon that they had last time playing the Chiefs was Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk actually had 12 targets, 9 receptions, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So if we allow him to do things like that and Trevor Lawrence just to, pitch and catch with him, that could come back to bite you. We did do really well against the run last time. They only rushed for 75 yards total. And that was counting Trevor Lawrence scrambles. I feel like we need to see a lot of what happened last time, to be honest. But just something to keep your eye on this time is maybe stopping Christian Kirk from having a field day and just continue a balanced offense for the Chiefs.
Right. So I'll take it from Andy Reid versus Doug Peterson. He is an Andy Reid disciple. They've faced each other a few times. We don't want Andy Reid to outthink himself because he thinks Doug Peterson knows what he will do. I hope that he don't try to be cute and try to get crazy. Let's go back like you said. So let's look at offense. Let's execute. Let's establish a run game. Let's let Pacheco get rolling. Let's let Jarrett McKinnon work a little bit. I think it'll look, pretty good on offense if they do that. I think we'll move the ball. Now, when it comes to our defense, I think you got to stop Etienne. You can't let him get going. When it comes to shutting down Christian Kirk, I kind of wonder if Spag's going to keep implementing the shadow thing with L'Jarius Sneed or what they'll do there. L'Jarius Sneed, the body type versus Christian Kirk kind of could be a little bit of a mismatch there. So I wonder, is McDuffie more suited to maybe match up against Christian Kirk? He's a little quicker and shiftier than probably Sneed.
What it's going to come down to is simply the game plan and being prepared, playing fundamental football, being disciplined, and I think you win this game. So I have full confidence that Andy Reid will have the team ready to go. But the players, they have to show up. They have to play hard. They have to be smart because this team, you mentioned earlier, there might be nerves coming into Arrowhead with the crazy crowd and stuff. But in my opinion, Jacksonville's playing on house money at this point. They're well beyond where everyone thought they were going to be, aside from us and Nick Wright. But, I mean, they're literally playing on house money, man. So they might come in and just go balls to the wall and play carefree because they've already achieved more than they were supposed to. So, I mean, it could very well be that way. I just think the Chiefs have to be disciplined, play fundamentally, and have a good game plan. And Andy Reid and Spags, for that matter, they really got to, perform on these in-game adjustments because sometimes that is our Achilles heels. But let us know what you guys think about it. Get down in the comments. Let us know what you think about playing the Jacksonville Jaguars next week and how you feel about the playoffs so far. You guys need to get over to our store. It is allchiefdup.creator-spring.com. We have some good merch over there. There's particularly a Grim Reaper shirt. It has the arrowhead with a skull in it, and the back says Reaper with the number 13. So get over there. It's Reaper time. It's playoff time. We're 1 year outside of that, and we want to see more of that from Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, use code ACU15. Get 15% off your order on anything. Don't forget to use that code. Some people have been ordering, forgot the code. Use the code. But let's move on, Steve. Buffalo versus Miami. That was kind of a crazy game. We said that we thought it could be closer than it should be. And it was. I think it ended up being like, what, 3-point game or something like that. What did you think about it? Miami was doing all this with Skylar Thompson, third string quarterback. I do know that Tyreek Hill dropped some passes today. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I mean, he actually dropped one right into the other team's hand. If he wouldn't have smacked it out, it would have been the classic Tyreek Hill caused interception, but he actually made him drop the pass. But if you look at the game, honestly, Miami gave that game away. They had Buffalo on the ropes and they gave it away. And then even on the last drive, when things didn't go their way, they got the ball back and could have tied the game with a field goal. And they just completely had an epic meltdown because, I mean, that team performed great today. Mike McDaniel's coached great today. And when they got to that last drive, they melted down 100%. They had a third and short. They didn't get there because they ran a bad play. And then they turned around, fourth and a foot. And instead of just getting up there and punching that ball in for a foot and getting into field goal range, which they were very close to, they decided to get in the huddle and haul around and call a really bad play that ended up being, but they got the penalty. They didn't even get the ball snapped and had to go to a 4th and 6. Literally handed the game away to Buffalo. In my opinion, Buffalo did not look good. They didn't look bad, but they didn't look good. Josh Allen don't look great to me. It looks like a lot of the offense is, man, just throw a deep ball and hope you get a lucky call. And that's kind of how it goes for them. So that's something you got to look out for with Buffalo. That seems to be their offense these days. Just throw it up. So that's why you see a lot of Josh Allen turnovers. Actually this year, he has 30 plus turnovers if you're counting fumbles and interceptions. That's insane for people to be talking about him being the best quarterback in the league, as opposed to Mahomes. And this guy's got 30 plus turnovers. That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't think Buffalo looked great today. I think even by their standards, they're going to go in, they're going to try to clean it up. They're going to have to clean it up playing against the Bengals, who obviously was playing against Baltimore tonight. That game, also, the Bengals, I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're a good team. Boy,
Yeah.
are they some of the luckiest. They get the luckiest
Right.
plays to
Well,
go their way. What about that turnover on the goal line there that they run back for 99? That's insane.
we were talking about this off camera, and we were saying, the Bengals are not a bad team. They're a good football team. But when you have a good football team that gets every bit of luck to bounce their way when they're not playing well, they're very hard to beat. That makes it a hard team to beat. And we were talking about how we watch Chiefs every week of our lives. And not once do we see them get the ball bouncing that way, or this kind of crazy play, or that kind of crazy play, or this call or that call. But the Bengals seem to get them every time at the right time. It's unreal the luck that team has. Because, in my opinion, I think that Baltimore outplayed them today. And the only thing that made that game the outcome it was that stupid play call on the 4th and goal that turned into a 14-point swing after a 99.5-yard return by a defensive end.
Well, you're looking at 2 games in the past month. New England was driving, could have beat them, and they fumble there inside their own red zone.
Yep, Stevenson.
Right. And then you turn around and you get the same thing to happen today. It's like you could say they create their own breaks, but let's be honest, these other guys are professionals too. It's really weird. All the good always seems to happen with Cincinnati.
This started last year.
I don't know why. Right.
This started last year in the playoffs, man. The Bengals were not a great team coming into the playoffs last year. I think they were 10-7. They were that wild card team that Baltimore was this year. They got really, really lucky against Tennessee. They got super lucky against the Chiefs for that second half implosion. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't know. Something about this team, they're going to be hard to beat because when they're not playing good, everything falls their way to alleviate it.
Right. And Baltimore did not look good tonight. I would have much rather Baltimore pull that upset and us play Baltimore than Jacksonville.
Well, yeah.
I think Jacksonville's a way better team. But yeah, Cincinnati did not look convincing over Baltimore at all
No.
in the slightest. Buffalo did not look good against a third string quarterback. So that's going to be a tough
But
game
hey,
between the two, but
don't
neither
get it
one looked
twisted though.
convincing.
Don't get it twisted. As bad as these two teams look this weekend, the
Well,
minute
yeah.
they step on the field with the Chiefs, they will play like all pros. For some reason,
Yeah.
Josh Allen is not a great quarterback all season long, but every time he plays the Chiefs, man, it's just another level. It makes no sense. It's kind of ridiculous and annoying, but that's just how it is. And the Chiefs have their work cut out for them now. They're going to have to beat Jacksonville, who's a hot young team, and then turn around and either beat the Bengals or the Bills to get to the Super Bowl, in which they could probably be facing the Eagles or the 49ers. So, not an easy road. So, if the Chiefs want this Lombardi, they are going to have to earn it 100%. So, what do you think about it as a whole, Mike? Like, is this kind of how you expected it to fall? Because, in my opinion, I think it is. I think we actually predicted every AFC game correctly.
Yeah, we did all these right. I mean, I think the only one everybody was kind of on the fence about was the Chargers Jaguars game. But we said the Jaguars were a good team. I didn't think they'd have to come back 28 points or whatever it was, but they did take care of business. The Jags are hot right now. This is not going to be an easy game for the Chiefs at all. We'll dig more into this. We're going to, inspect this game from all angles probably. Yeah, Buffalo and Cincinnati. That's going to be a knockdown drag out. This is the game the league wanted a few weeks ago and it got called short. They're going to finally get it. And then if the Chiefs do beat the Jaguars, they could play a tough team in Cincinnati that we haven't beat in God knows how long, or you're playing Buffalo at a neutral site. So it don't get any easier. It's looking like it's just going to be a tough row for us this time. And like you said, you're waiting in the Super Bowl. You may have the 49ers again, who we beat in the Super Bowl, and they're going to have something to play for. We embarrassed them this year at their home stadium. They got something to play for. The Eagles are a great team. You're either going to have Tom
Not to
Brady
mention,
in a swan song in,
you
Tampa.
forgot. You forgot all about beating them in 2019 in the Super Bowl. So there's a lot for San Francisco to be playing for in this one if we were to get that far. But yeah, guys, make sure to get in the comments and let us know what you think about how everything's played out. How are you feeling about the Chiefs matchup? How are you feeling about the Buffalo Bengals matchup? Also, just in case the Chiefs do go ahead and take care of business against Jacksonville, you know what would be great to have, Mike?
What?
This t-shirt. This is my Victory Monday t-shirt. On the back, it says the Chiefs just whipped your team's ass. You will go get that shirt on the store right now and purchase it, and you'll have it to wear on Monday after the Chiefs take care of business against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm going to go pick one up actually.
Other than knowing who our first opponent is in the playoffs this year, it's been pretty quiet for the Kansas City Chiefs last few days, which is great. We just want our team healthy and ready for the playoffs. But Brett Veach did sign a practice squad player, defensive tackle Phil Hoskins, not Hopkins that everybody wanted to sign, but Hoskins. And we did a video about it. You can check that out right here. Make sure to get in the comments on that. Also, guys, we really need you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We set out a goal before the season started. We wanted 5,000 subs before the season ended. We are 250 away, folks. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to hit that subscribe button. Get in the comments. Hit the bell so you get notifications when we come out with new stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow with more on your Kansas City Chiefs.